A very good morning, dear students. Happy to see you again. In the previous class, we have studied the story of cricket, isn't it? And I have even given you some questions to write as homework. I expected to get some information regarding cricket. As I told you all, and even you know, cricket is an international entertainment. It is the most appealing international entertainment that we have seen it. And how many players the cricket is required to have, how many yards of distance that the pitch should be, and what kind of ball and how many kilograms of weighted ball should be used in this game. All we have learned it in the previous class. Let us come to page number. It's what again? It is 142. Children, all of you must take page number 142. If you look at the game's equipment, cricket is a game. If we come across the equipment of cricket, this game's equipment, you can see how cricket both changed with the changing times and yet fundamentally remained true to its origins in rural England. Still in rural England, the cricket is played in a very traditional way. So the modern cricket is somewhat got certain modifications in it. Okay, the way the cricket is played in other parts of the world when we compare to England is completely different. The cricket that is played in England is the most traditional way of playing cricket, especially in rural England. Cricket's most important tools are made up of natural and pre-industrial materials. Especially this pre-industrial material only they'll be using for making the equipment of cricket. Okay, the bat is made with leather, twine and cork. Even today, both bat and ball are handmade, not industrially manufactured. Ball and bat are not industrially made. It is made up of leather, twine and cork, and it is made out of hands. It is handy. We can say that handmade things only we can see. No industrialization or no industrial material is used for manufacturing ball and bat. Okay. The material of the bat changed slightly over time. Once it was cut out of single piece of wood. I think this part also we have done it. Let us come to page 143, second paragraph. In that particular page it is first paragraph. But in the matter of protective equipment, cricket has been influenced by technological change. Okay, when the science and technology is improving and getting developed day by day, even the equipment of cricket is also got certain changes in it. The invention of vulcanized rubber led to the introduction of pads in 1848. In the year 1848, vulcanized rubber, which is being used industrially, is used for making the pads. Okay, the invention of vulcanized rubber led to the introduction of pads in 1840. Pads are made, especially using vulcanized rubber in the year 1848. And protective gloves, even gloves that are used by the cricketers were also more protective soon afterwards, and the modern game would be unimaginable without helmets made out of metal and synthetic lightweight material. Helmets which are worn by the cricketers are made up of metal and synthetic material. Because they have to weigh, they should carry them while they were running, so they should be lightweighted materials only they'll be using it. The helmets which are made up of lightweight material. They are not supposed to wear any heavy metallic or synthetic utilized helmets. Okay, not only pads, even helmets were also made up of some protective equipment, because no head injury should happen, and they have to protect their heads from all the injuries. So of course they are giving good protection to the head. At the same time, they are using lightweight material. Okay, if it is lightweight, in the sense they can run without having any difficulty. Let us come to page number 144. Oriental Cricket Club in Mumbai in 1848. Parsi clubs were funded and sponsored by Parsi businessmen like the Tatas and Wadias. Especially in Mumbai, the craze for cricket is started in 18th century. In the year 1848, two groups, Parsis as well as Oriental Cricket Club, was formed in 1848. It is the Parsis Club. Parsi clubs were founded. Who made them? Not founded, it is funded. Funds are released by two different and the richest families in Mumbai. One is Tatas, the other one is Wadias. Okay, they sponsored by Parsi businessmen. There were some Parsi businessmen started their business in the 18th century. They are none other than Wadias and Tatas. Okay, they only started giving funds and they only sponsoring cricket. Okay, and they are the great helping hands and the major families in Mumbai in the year 18th century, 1848. The white cricket elite in India offered no help to the enthusiastic Parsis. The white cricket elite in India. Actually, white cricket elite is not supposed to shook their hands with these Parsis. There was a quarrel always between Bombay and Gymkhana, Bombay Gymkhana and the Whites. There was two clubs, no? Oriental Cricket Club was funded and sponsored by Parsis businessmen called Tatas and Wadias. There was another group called White Cricket Elite in India. Actually, White Cricket Board is also there. White Cricket is also there. This White Cricket Association and Oriental Club always having quarrels. See, the White Cricket Elite in India offered no help to the enthusiastic Parts. Actually, Parsis are very enthusiastic, but this White Elite India were not at all helping. They were not at all helping this enthusiastic Parsis. In fact, there was a quarrel. They always had a quarrel between the Bombay Gymkhana and Whites only club. And the Parsi cricketers over the use of a public park, especially Parsi cricketers were using public parks to play cricket. The Parsis complained that the park was left unfit for cricket because the polo ponies of the Bombay Gymkhana dug up the surface. Actually, before they occupied their place in the park, actually park was already being used by polo ponies. Okay, polo is also one of the famous sport that was running in Bombay, and polo ponies have dug the ground. They have dug the ground for their own sports purpose. Actually, whenever the park is dug like that, it is not at all fit for playing cricket anymore. So that's why these Parsi cricketers complained this. Then ponies of the Bombay Gymkhana dug up the surface. When it became clear that the colonial authorities were prejudiced in favor of their white compatriots. See, actually there came a problem. A sport is not at all, a game is not at all played as a game. Some political influences were fallen. Favorism is also fallen. And what we can say, regional differences are also have come. So all these things, see here it is written. When it became clear that the colonial authorities, local people's authority was fallen on the game also. okay, were prejudiced in favor of their white compatriots. They were doing favorism to the white compatriots rather than to this Bombay Gymkhana. The Parsis built their own Gymkhana to play cricket in. So Parsis actually, in Parsis there were some big business tycoons were there, Tatas and Vadias. They bought the land and they made it as a cricket ground for them. They themselves formed it. Parsis built their own Gymkhana. Gymkhana is nothing but big grounds. Okay, some acres of land that they have bought it and they made it as a Gymkhana to play cricket in. The rivalry between the Parsis and the Bombay Gymkhana had a happy ending for these pioneers of Indian cricket. Finally, they made peace with one another. Bombay Gymkhana and Parsis had very good companionship and very good cooperation. They started working with cooperation and they were helping each other and they started playing cricket over there. A Parsi team beat the Bombay Gymkhana at cricket in 1889. There were always matches between Parsis and the Bombay Gymkhana. And who won it? Parsis won over. A Parsi team beat the Bombay Gymkhana. Okay? And in the year 1889, just 4 years after the foundation of the Indian National Congress in 1885, in the year 1885, the Indian National Congress has come on the priority and they has come on the field. Okay, actually this happened just 4 years, means 1889. After 1889, 4 years of gap. After the foundation of the Indian National Congress in 1885, an organization that was lucky to have amongst its early leaders the great Parsi statesman and intellectual Dadabhai Naoroji. Actually, when the Indian National Congress has come on the lead, when it started governing the country, by the time it was lucky, they said, okay, or an organization that was lucky to have amongst its early leaders. The earliest person as a leader was Dadabhai Naoroji. Modern cricket is dominated by Test and one-day internationals. So how did they improve this cricket? By playing one-day international test matches and one-day international teams. The players who become famous, who live on in the memories of the cricket's public, or those who have played for their country. Actually, the country India can remember still the people who have come forward to play cricket, especially test matches and one-day internationals they were playing. And some players have really done a very good job in the field of cricket. The players who became famous, who live on in the memories of the cricket's public. Okay, they started living in the memories of the cricket public because they have played and they have taken cricket into the world. Okay, the way that they played cricket was really awesome and everybody started appreciating those cricket players and this cricket field. That means the field of cricket has gone into this world in that manner. And they remained in the memories of the cricket's public or those who have played for their country, especially those who have played for our country, have stood first. The players Indian fans remember even now are those who were fortunate enough to play test cricket. Especially test crickets were played by the cricket team of India. Their names were also given here. C.K. Naidu, an outstanding Indian batsman of his time. In those times, C.K. Naidu was the most brilliant players, an outstanding Indian batsman actually, C.K. Naidu. An outstanding Indian batsman of his times lives on in the popular imagination than some of his great contemporaries like Palwankar. But who were his contemporaries? Contemporaries means, please underline the word contemporaries, means they belong to the same period of time. in the same field of cricket. There were some other people, those who have also played well along with the C.K. Naidu were like Palwankar Vittal and Palwankar Balu have been forgotten. Palwankar Vittal and Palwankar Balu were forgotten, even though Naidu was past his cricketing prime when he played for India its first test matches against England starting in 1932. We are now knowing about the situation, how the cricket is played in the year 1932. In 1932, actually the real players of cricket have come up. Okay, among them, see Palwankar Balu and Palwankar Vittal, both of them were forgotten by the people, but C.K. Naidu remained in the memories of cricket fans. Okay, he had played against England in the year 1932. His place in India's cricket history is assured because he was the country's first test captain. Who was the first Indian cricket's test captain? C.K. Naidu. He was the first Indian test matches captain. India entered the world of test cricket in 1932. When we entered in the year 1932, by the time C.K. Naidu won against England. A decade and a half before it became an independent nation. Actually, after 1932, okay, we have after decade, means after, okay, decade in the sense, how many years? After one decade, okay, so we have come decade and half, almost 15 years later. So when we got independence, this cricket is also carried forward. This was possible because Test cricket from its origins in 1877. Test cricket was in its origins in 1877, was organized as a contest between different parts of the British Empire, not the sovereign nations. Okay, especially in British Empire, this cricket was organized as a contest. Actually, cricket is conducted as a contest between different parts of the British Empire. They were not at all taken India as the prime one, because they have come to India. They started okay, their business here in India. So Indians are not given any priority in those times. We are just used as tools and we were left uncared. So they were giving prominence to British Empire, not sovereign nations. The first test was played between England and Australia. Okay, first cricket test match was played between England and Australia when Australia was still a white settler colony. Actually, by the time Australia was a white settler colony, by the time it was conducted as a contest. It's a test match only between England and Australia. And when Australia was still a white settler colony, similarly the small countries of the Caribbean, there were small little countries in Caribbean region that together make up the West Indies. These Caribbean countries are none other than West Indies team were British colonies till well after the Second World War. Till Second World War, all these countries are considered as Caribbean countries which were okay, ruled under the British control. So like this way, from India, the cricket is gradually taking part with the other parts of the nation, like Britishers were occupied India, no? After independence, after we get the independence only, that Indian cricket was being taken forward, and we also have got recognition amongst the other countries of the world. The remaining part of this lesson will be continued in the next class. Till wherever I just stopped it, you are better or you are suggested to read it, try to understand how the cricket is gradually moved to other places of the world. You will come to know. And who was the first captain? Was the first test captain of India? C.K. Naidu. Likewise, so if you learn, you will be getting mostly all the facts which are there in this particular lesson, the story of cricket. Until we meet again, children, goodbye, and we will be meeting again in the next class.